So we apply this concept to our vision now, and this is where I challenge all of you to really go to work this weekend and think about what's been placed on your heart. Why are you here? You're here for a reason. We know that. You're the one that gets to determine how much of that you're going to let express, right? And so connecting to that vision, connecting to your own truth. Authenticity is one of the most powerful expressions. You have to be you. That's what we need. And then we take action, right? We get connected first to why we're going to do what we're going to do, what lights us up, what brings us forth to show up in these rooms, to serve humanity, to grow chiropractic practices, to finish school, whatever it is. And we do that, and then we do whatever we have to do. We go study for the tests. We hire the next person. And it seems to me that then the right people and the right opportunities find you much more easily and much more readily. So it's a beautiful way to live life when we live in adherence with this above, down, inside out principle. And so I ask you is, remember Dee Dee's quotes that I just read to you. How big is chiropractic to you, right? Because, for instance, when we go into the school, it may appear like that child just came down and got adjusted and went back to class in 5 minutes, right? So to an untrained eye, not a big thing. Small thing, right? But if we're literally holding space to tune up children by giving them great care, recognizing there's potential in them, even if they've been labeled the bad kid, what does that do for that child to have someone who cares about them, who sees that they have potential, who doesn't care about what labels they've been given, that is going to do their best to give them the right application there, and then speak words of life to them, and then see them next week. And this becomes a staple in how they learn to take care of their own system, right? What does that do to that child when they become an adult, right? And what if this concept happened not just in 16 or 18 or 50 schools? What if this happened first all across Wisconsin and then all across the US and then eventually in Australia, or maybe you guys will get it started before we get it going fully. Then all of those kids also become adults who make different choices, right? And chiropractic becomes the norm. Yeah, thank you. And you see what I did there? I just enrolled all of us to be thinking about this, which just makes this happen faster, right? This is possible, right? So we're going to recognize our truth of above, down, inside out, and we're going to use it to our advantage to take territory, to bring more chiropractic to more people, to fill this room to the next level over the next years. Right? And now I'm going to come back and tell you a little more about our school project, because I think what's important too is recognizing when we say that there's intelligence in all things all the time, and that even means the shit storms, right? Sometimes when you're walking through things that are meant for you, you need to do some shedding, right? You need to change. I'll give a couple examples. So the top part that's in black, I call that the unsexy days of doing the school-based things. It was a lot of getting up early, showing up, adjusting a handful of people, and then running back to the practice and, whatever we had to do to just keep this thing going. And after the first year, I was like, gosh, should we really be doing this? It feels like a lot of running around. I could be serving more people in the practice. I don't know if I need to be doing this. And then they asked us to do this kids thing. Oh, could you start studying the kids? Okay, sure. So we start doing that. Then my license got turned into the state board by another chiropractor who didn't like that we were in the school system. So I got to go through 18 months of having a board review, which I don't know if that happens in Australia, but it's no fun in the United States. And, I remember feeling like it took the wind out of my sails, right? But because I knew the major premise, I was like, okay, this is this has to be happening for me somehow. And maybe if we're really going to do this thing and I don't buckle down because I'm scared right now, and instead I look at it we need to have our I's dotted and our T's crossed. And if we're going to keep pioneering this thing, people are going to scrutinize us. So maybe this is just, buttoning down the hatches a little bit. And sure enough, the board complaint got thrown out after 18 months and we got to keep going and everything was okay then. But we had refined some things to know okay, our process has to be tighter, right? And I share that because it's fun to envision and to think about possibility. And then you got to think about but who do I have to become in this process of walking this out? How much sturdier do I need to become? How much more convicted do I need to become? How many more people am I going to need to attract to help us do the next level of this vision and the next level of the vision and the next level of the vision, right? Then in 2020, the school shut down. It would have been one of those times where I was like, God, I don't know if we're going to get back open again. Why is this happening? And all of a sudden I had doctors coming back into the office. I was already unsteady in the office, like what's happening? You know, it felt top heavy. I was also pregnant. And so it gave me more maternity leave than I would have taken. So it all worked out. And the second we could be back in the schools, we were back in the schools, right? And it's that trust element, again, too, of just like, here we are. We'll navigate it. Here we are. We'll navigate it. And then when we get into the purple area, that's when it starts to get more fun. Like we started actually talking to chiropractic groups about what we were doing. Somewhere along the line in 2018, we had met Heidi Havoc and Jenna on Zoom calls. And when I met Heidi, she said, I'll write your research. And I was like, don't tease me. And so we started sending her team a ton of data on HRV. And so we actually had the good fortune then, again, serendipitously, the right people get pulled in at the right time, where we did a retrospective study with them and published it last year. I think it's on the next slide. Oh, those are some of the rooms. Thank you. Yeah, those are some of the rooms. There it is. And we have 2 more, I think, that should be coming out any day now. We're waiting on them. You can download that.